And welcome. Hey guys, we are live with another episode of Watch Soup. I am joined by my co-host, Sanjay from the Engineer Wannabe channel, YouTube channel, and at engineer underscore wannabe um, Instagram. Sanjay, how are you? I talked to you on your live stream last night. You had a very interesting weekend. What's up with you, man? How you doing?
Not too much. Doing really well. My watch fast ended yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was I was telling you, I think privately, that I I was pretty much breaking out into song while driving home because if the whole Jeff McMahon thing was going on, because it was so long, like, that I've been not with buying a watch, that the dopamine rush was just insane when I did finally buy something.
I love it,
So
man.
yeah, yeah. On my wrist today is Planet Ocean.
Okay, I was wondering if you were going to put that on because you got us on a hook yesterday, right? You put out the video earlier about I'm processing this. I was processing this all last night and today. You put out the video of the unboxing of the Seiko Alpinist is what you picked up and what you said broke your fast. Then you got us on the live stream, and then you like slowly reel us in with some bait. And then you're like, I traded. We asked you like, did you trade in a watch? And you're like, I did. And can you guess the watch? And then we didn't guess the right watch, and you said it was the Nikon. And then we were like, what? And then you showed us the Planet Ocean that you picked up,
Yeah,
and
yeah. That was a lot of fun. Is
yeah,
I felt kind of bad, but it was
no,
still
no, that was
it was
great.
still a blast. But yeah, because I kind of baited everyone by releasing a video of an unboxing of a Seiko.
Yeah.
That's good.
What? What?
Um,
What's so funny?
the
The
logo.
branding. Yeah, yeah.
No, so I put that video out, and then I slowly let everyone know that I had traded in the Necton, and it looked like the biggest downgrade in the history of
Yeah,
downgrades.
yeah.
Um, but then I pulled this one out from the side, and I said, "Yeah, this is the main one that I went in for," and the Seiko is just the icing on top. I
Awesome.
also picked up the Seiko Alpinist reissue, the uh, SJE 085. So one a lot of people call overpriced,
Yeah.
but and I think they've done a lot of things wrong with that release, but as a watch on its own. So I looked at the watch on its own in a vacuum, and it's such a great watch.
Mm.
Like, I've really liked the Black Bay 36, Tudor Black Bay
Yeah.
36.
The Explorer
Um,
type.
yeah,
Look. Yeah.
yeah, but it's
Hmm.
never really fit too comfortably on me.
Hmm.
It's kind of been always like off balance on my personal wrist, and this one kind of slides right in, is perfect. It's just so comfortable, and it is, yeah, perfect. It's such a good
That's
watch.
great, man. I mean, I love it. I love it, man. I love everything about that story. The way you know, you broke your fast. The way you hooked us in with another watch. It's awesome. I hope that you I messaged Colin like after the show, and I'm like, you got to hear what Sanjay did. Because I don't think he was on watch the stream last night, and he's just like, give me a big LOL, and he was like, he is such a pro, uh, and that's what you are, man. You are a pro, man. You are a pro, dude.
Like,
You know,
what, deceiving people?
no, not deceiving people, but just like the watch, the flipping, you know what I mean? Like you wear a watch, you go for it, right? And then if it doesn't work with you, like you get rid of it and then you move on. You know what I mean? Like you're just a pro, man. You're like you have like you're like Stephon Curry, like hitting three after three, like unconscious. Like you know what I mean? Like he's heating up. Boom, boom, boom. Watch, new watch, other watch. You know what I mean? And it's just like you don't even look like Brett Favre might throw 5 interceptions in one game, but that doesn't stop him from throwing, the football. You know what I mean? Just like you're a gunslinger, dude. I love it.
Oh, thank you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, it's I don't even know what I was saying. I don't know. It's all a blur. I'm wearing my evening watch, one of my evening watch, the Kadoke 2 with
Beautiful.
the salmon dial.
Yeah.
Um, Before we get started, let's say hello to some people on the chat, shall
Yeah,
we?
absolutely.
Megan reclaiming the position of first. Um, she was there like around 7:30 though,
Yeah.
Megan. So yeah, it's still a little bit of cheating. ID guy coming in an hour later with a silver medal, and Junior Johnson with the bronze. So with the Olympic theme, I appreciate that, guys. Symphony for the Bezels here. Hello, hey Justin, how you doing? What's up, Joe? What's going on? Wilson's here, and so is Nilo. Thanks for coming, guys. Guys, also let us know what's on your wrist, and if you've had any interesting um, trades lately. Watch fast ending. I'm the only one who's really watch fasting anyway, I guess. Bill K's here.
I'm on
Keith's
one
here.
day.
You're on day, so I guess technically you're fasting, right? AZ Clayton, what's up, Clayton? Um, let's see here. Scroll some down. Man, I've been listening to Kids Bop too much lately. Do you know what Kids Bop is?
No.
So it's like pop songs, right? Regular pop songs,
Mhm.
by anybody, by any artist. But there's kids who sing it, and so like they just basically change the voices out, right? And it's
Okay.
like my kids are into it, and so like now it's like it's all I listen to, and like it's all playing in my mind. So
Oh, that sounds like torture.
yeah, it is. It is a little bit of torture. I got that Old Town Road by Lil Nas X going in my head now because that's what they were listening to. It's like, all right. Anyway, too much info. Pale Horse is here. Sam is here from all the way from Australia. What's up, buddy? Uh, Chaz from the Berg. What's going on? Lots of love for the identification, gentlemen. Um, go here. Hey, Craig. What's going on, buddy? How you doing? Caliber YQG is here. Sean Holloway is here. Hi, Sean. Oh, Ken Spears here. B-Dev, what's up, man? How are you? I think your new Speedmaster will sort of be featured tonight in one of the videos that we're going to be talking about. Um, hey, Kelly, how you doing? Thanks for coming. Boo, doo, 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 doo. Ooh, strolling down. Sorry, there's a lot of guys here, a lot of people. Altamash, thank you. Where are the two ladies? Well, we're focusing on two videos that were released by Jenni Elle and Watch Gringa. So, but I mean, Sanjay and I, we can be ladylike, I guess, right? We have slender wrists, so. uh, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean for that to be clickbait, Altimesh. I'm sorry. Um, Winding Crowns is here. What's up, man? How are you? Okay, so Roar the Tiger. I just want to make sure I get everybody here. Roar the Tiger's here,
Yeah.
and Peter's here. Sorry if I missed you guys. Let's go into our first little segment, and that is comments. And we had some comments last week. I'll just bring those up real quick. And we we kind of got off tangent at the end, or I did anyway, at the end of last week's stream, talking about mini series from like the 80s. And Mountain Standard Time was mentioning Lonesome Dove miniseries, another go in. I don't remember that one. I had to go. I think I missed that. I had to go and Google it. I definitely didn't see it. But and then sorry, skipped here. And then in regards to that halt time video that we were talking about, where he lost, or UPS or whoever was the shipper, pretty much kind of lost his tutor snowflake that he was selling. On the chat, AZ Clayton saw a video of someone using the Apple Air tags to track their shipments, whether that's kosher or not. We don't know yet the legality of that, but it's a good way to keep track of some of your packages. So That's an interesting idea for sure.
Mhm.
And Oil Money, why can't Sanjay be Nightwing, a former sidekick turned superhero on his own right? I think we were talking about, like, how we're like Batman and Robin and who's who.
Yeah, and I called
Uh,
Robin.
yeah, and you called Robin. Uh,
Nightwing used to be Robin or something like that, right?
you know, was it? Yeah, I don't know. I was reading like one of these like books to my son, and that we got from his older cousin, and it was a Batman book, and Nightwing was in it. It wasn't Robin, so I don't know. I don't know the history. I don't know, and probably somebody would know, but yeah, maybe Nightwing did turn into Robin.
Or
Yeah,
Robin
yeah,
turned into
I really don't know. That's interesting. Um, let's get
and
back into the chat. Meznine's here. What's up, man? Nefarian's here. How are you? Do do do. Apple skin tags are coming soon. Oh, jeez. Uh, Peter liking the smaller banner. Thank you, Peter. Uh, the banner. I don't know if you saw the banner had or the overlay I had on Friday with all the guys
Yeah.
ahead and the bottom there. It was a little much. I gotta find a way to make that smaller. I'm just having too much fun with Photoshop lately. Um, Kevin, I said Bobby is Commissioner Gordon. Ah, well, all right. Nightwing is Dick Grayson, who was the first Robin. Thanks, James. Okay.
There we go.
The
What
original, wait, the original Robin became Nightwing. Okay. Were you gonna say something, Sanjay? Sorry.
I was just thinking of some guy called the Red Hood or something in Batman. I kind of remember. Did he become the Joker? Or, I
I
don't know.
don't know.
Batman universe is so confusing.
I never got into the comic book Batman, so I don't know if this is where all this is coming from. Like, I just watched the movies, and I never watched, like, I remember watching episodes of Batman, Adam West, like whenever those came out in the 60s or 70s. But I was just too young, and I never really followed them along. Um, Spider-Man, Sanjay's more like Spider-Man, quick and agile. I like that. That's a good comparison. You are like the horological Spider-Man, I think.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm full of compliments today. I was giving them out
Yeah.
earlier. I was handing them out like cards. Um,
I'll take
Stick
them.
to movies, Sanjay. Junior Johnson, I'm wearing the Albany AMA diver. I'm not really familiar with that one.
Hmm.
Are you guys saying the original Robin became Nightwing, second became Red Hood, if I'm remembering? So you might be onto something there,
Yeah.
Sanjay. Um,
I only know because something to do with the video games. I never read the comics, but I did play like the Arkham something series like a decade ago.
yeah. James saying, I work in the comic book industry. I'd rather talk about. Fair enough,
Yeah,
James.
there you
We'll
go.
get off. We'll get off of it now, and we'll move on to Sanjay's review segment. What's up, Sanjay? Tell us what reviews we should have paid attention to this last week.
Well, if you guys wouldn't have guessed that our friend Evan from You're Terrific would be on, he's on. I don't know how he keeps cranking these out one a week and them being at such a high quality, but
Yeah, it's amazing.
yeah, they are absolutely fantastic reviews. I mean,
Hmm.
they're funny. There's like
Hmm.
a overarching story, even like a
Yeah,
theme,
yeah.
um, and he's just so quick too and witty.
Hmm.
The puns, the jokes, they're all like mixed in there. And like I mentioned a couple of times that I listen to these reviews first and then go back and watch them,
Hmm.
and like listening to these reviews have me laughing while I'm driving to work. It's yeah, You're Terrific is just
Yeah,
great.
he's terrific.
So
He's
yeah, he's
terrific.
terrific.
Yeah.
Yep. Extreme even because he was doing the a review of the Zenith Defy Extreme, if I'm getting that correct.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, Evan is terrific. So yeah, really crazy watch. Um, very cool movement. Really, I don't really know a whole lot about this watch other than there was a titanium, golden titanium. He had mentioned that it would have been cool if they did a full gold version of this watch because that would have been extreme. And there was a lot of play on words on the
Hmm.
extreme. So if you guys haven't checked out that review, you guys really should go check it out. Did you have a chance to see it?
I did, and you know, I love his reviews. You're right. It's almost like he tells a story. Um, you know, every one of us who does this, right? Reviews and content creates. We have like I think we have like a formula, right, that we follow. I know I follow it probably to my detriment because it's very, very predictable. But you can circumvent that when you're telling like a story about the watch, and he's so good at it. I mean, he must do something like this professionally, whether it's editing or writing or whatever aspect of this, because he does this very, very well. And it's hard for me to think that he just probably decided to create a watch review channel one day, and then he
Mhm.
just started doing this kind of stuff like skill wise, right? I mean, he's anyway. But enough kudos, giving him kudos. I liked the watch, I really did, and you know, it is crazy. I probably will never get it because it's just maybe a little bit too much for me to deal with, right? Servicing must be crazy
Yeah.
on that piece, right? Because you know, you have like dual escapements. Yeah, you have a whole bunch of stuff that's going on there, but it looks cool. It's probably a little too big for me as well. But I like the fact that I like that quick bracelet change system it has, and you get the rubber strap, which looked awesome on the rubber strap. And he even said that he's more of a bracelet guy, but the rubber strap looks really cool. And then you get the other like rubber, leather, Velcro, whatever that combination was.
Mhm.
It looked cool. It's just a great watch. A little pricey, but whatever. It
Yeah.
is what it is. I enjoyed the watch, and I even more so enjoyed the review.
Yeah, yeah. A quick release was really cool too on
Yeah.
that watch. Yeah, really, really interesting piece. Next up, I was watching the review from Watchfinder on the Zelos Mirage. So we talked about it when Random Rob had it on his
Hmm.
channel.
Hmm.
This time, Watchfinder had it, and they had three variants. So it was really cool to see all of them,
Yeah.
especially the Sapphire one.
Hmm.
So just to see all the shots and the 360 views and the great cinematography of that watch was nice to see. And I don't know if I had that kind of money burning a hole in my pocket, I probably would buy one of those because it looks really good. I really like the Damascus, the orange and black, or oh, sorry, I thought I froze a bit. The orange and black case, I thought that was really cool, and I'd really like to check it out in person. But
Yeah.
I like the way the dial's done,
Hmm.
like semi-skeletonized. I like the way it's laid out. The movement's super cool. It looks like a really cool pilot's watch, and yeah, I I mean I'm kind of sold on this thing. But I know our friend Chris from Watch Chris wasn't too sold on it
Yeah.
when we discussed it. But what are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, other than Watchfinder doing a great video as always, I think the watch is okay. I think it's a whole lot of money, and if I'm gonna invest that kind of money in a watch, I mean, this wouldn't be that kind of watch
Yeah.
that I do. That. I mean, like, look, the sapphire case is really, really cool. The Demasteel, I think it is it Demasteel, Damascus steel, whatever,
Yeah.
that case is very interesting, and you can get that type of case. He's released that. Elshon has released that with other models.
Okay.
In the collection, like divers watches, and sometimes they go pretty quickly, right? So and they are a little bit pricier. But he's done that. He's released that before. I don't know. I mean, I think we've talked about it enough about the watch. I think
Yeah.
it's look, it's just not for me. But
Yeah.
but
The
it's
Sapphire was cool.
Hmm.
And nice to see, but I wouldn't buy that either. It was kind of gaudy to me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I don't know. For me also, I would have to have the money burning a hole in my pocket, which
Hmm.
would never happen. But if I did have that kind of money just to throw away, I wouldn't mind throwing it out that
Yeah.
way towards Zelos.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. RM Zenith Defy or over AP Royal Oak?
Oh yeah, for me.
You would take a Defy over Roy. I
Oh,
think. I think. Yeah. Look. I mean, I realize where the AP is in the Mount Rushmore of watches, the Royal Oak that is. And it's a good looking watch, and a lot of other brands have tried to mimic the look, which is, another, nod to AP and how classic that look is. And let's forget about how the Royal Oak is AP a one watch brand, whatever. But for me, the Zenith Defy, I mean, I have a soft spot in my heart for Zenith, and I do like the Defy, and maybe not the one that we talked about tonight, that I would pick over the Royal, but there's other models in that Defy series. I just like, I like AP. I don't have, it's not on my bucket list, kind of like of watches, and I've owned a Zenith El Primero. I've never owned a Defy. I just like, I don't know. I don't know. I like the Defy line a little bit better.
yeah.
I don't know if that's sacrilege, but it is what it is.
I should specify that I would pick the Zenith Defies over the Royal Oak offshores.
Hmm.
If it
Okay.
was just a regular like 37 millimeter Royal Oak, I'd go for that. But yeah, definitely don't like the offshores myself.
Gotcha. Okay. Let me see if I can catch up with the chat. Sorry, guys. Let me see. What are you bringing up? I think people are talking about you're terrific still here. Okay, let's see what MJ says here. Anyone catch the Hodinkee Resonance release? The Type 1 Slim. Wow, what a great looking watch. Have they already discussed this in other streams? I don't know. I saw the release. What did you think? I look, I like Resonance. Um, I don't know if I was crazy about this one.
Yeah,
Um,
I
what did you think?
I only saw it in passing. I didn't
Hmm.
really look into it too deep. I do really like the Resonance models.
Yeah.
This one kind of looked like a wedding dress. I was thinking like
Okay.
I don't know.
Like a lacy look, kind of like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
think I know what you mean. Yeah,
So yeah, I didn't even bother to look it up because it looks so strange.
yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I could see someone liking it, but
yeah,
not for me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Not for me either. And but I like Resonance. I like what they're doing for sure.
Hmm.
Kevin S. I don't understand the fascination with Zalos. Just can't warm up to them. I hear ya. I mean, there's only I respect the guy who runs Zalos very much. I respect Elshan. Not every model, most models are really not for me. There's only very few that I like, but I do think you get a lot of watch for what you pay for in most cases with Zelos, and so, but I get it. I get why people, are not really into Zelos. I understand that. Um, what is the DIA on that PO, Sanjay, on the Planet
39 and a half.
Ocean?
39 and a half.
Oh, it's a diameter. I was
Yeah.
like, is that code for something? Yeah, diameter. Duh. I thought people were gonna do like an over under on Sanjay's how long he's gonna keep that. Okay, anyway. Um, Megan saying AP Royal Oak over Zenith every day. Only people that never had an AP Royal Oak would say that. Sorry, not sorry. Yeah, I mean, okay, you're probably right. You're probably right. I mean, maybe if I put one on, I would, or owned one, I would change my mind. But I've never owned a Defy either. So I think it's just aesthetically, it just pleases my eye a little bit more. I've never tried on, I've tried a Defy. I've never tried on a Royal Oak, admittedly.
Hmm. Same here.
Okay, catching up, catching up. Sorry, guys. I'm just um, Nefarian. Can these brands not make watches without Hodinkee? That bugs me for some reason. Yeah, it bugs me a little bit too. It bugs me just a little bit. Yeah, I hear you. Does that bug you at all, Sanjay? That these brands partner up with Hodinkee sometimes for these special releases?
Hmm, not really. Same with Worn and Wound, right? Or
Yeah, and I
Revolution.
guess, right, sure, sure. So like then I must be then I should not be okay with those kind of. I don't know. I think it's Hodinkee that bothers me a little bit.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, I can see that. The whole thing with the Hodinkee and the Panerai situation kind of even put me further off Hodinkee.
right?
I was kind of neutral with Hodinkee. Now I'm just more like, yeah.
ID guy, the recent release looked banging. Okay. Zell sure sells a ton of watches. They certainly do. Yeah. The only Zelos I have is the least Zelos, the Nova Salmon dial. That's a beautiful dial watch. I missed the boat on that one. I wanted to pick that one up, and then I talked myself out of it when they released. And then by the time I talked myself back into it, they're already. I think they were already sold out. Um, okay. All right. So let's move on and get into the topic videos. One coming from Jenni Elle, cheaper alternatives to an all iconic Rolex watches. Fun video, and I think Sanjay, you have maybe a little exercise you want to do.
Yeah,
Uh, so
yeah.
please go ahead.
Well, I thought this was a great video. Mainly because this is kind of how I look at things. Basically, I tend to settle a lot, and I guess this is kind of not starting strong here, but I'm not saying you should settle for something, but if something is unattainable, or you got to play a whole bunch of games to get to it, I I personally don't have the energy to do that, or the time. So I've always seen, like, say I really like the OPs, and I wanted to get something like that. So I looked all around to see what you could get instead of that. So when she put out this video, it brought back those memories from way back when I wanted a, well, not way back, but about a year ago when I wanted an OP36
Hmm.
green and couldn't get one. Um, so what she did was she kind of stated the Rolex watch that you can get, which is pretty much everyone now, and then went to cheaper alternatives. Some were super cheap, and I was not cheap, super affordable compared to what she was talking about, like the with the date, um, and others were kind of closer up in that same tier, but attainable or available to purchase, kind of.
Hmm.
So I'll go through the list of what she went through. And I was thinking maybe we can do like an alternate pick, one of our own picks that we
Sure.
would pick instead.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so Rolex Day Date was the first one.
Hmm.
She picked Hamilton Jazzmaster Day Date, which is a dead ringer for the Rolex Day Date. So is the Mito Commander Day Date Vintage. She picked that one, another dead ringer. So I would think you should kind of look at something alternative to, not don't get the same thing just in case you are able to get it. Um, but anyway, so the second one she also mentioned was the Tudor Glamour Day Date. This video is so great because we could talk about these watches for so long.
Right.
um, but yeah, I mean, I just wanted to mention, I don't know why Tudor made their logo so large in the Glamour line. If it was just a little smaller, I think they would have knocked it out of the park. But
Yeah.
it's this giant Times New Roman Tudor logo there. It's so ugly.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't know what you think of that, but I decided to pick the Tudor Royal. Actually, she picked this for the date chest, but I think the
Hmm.
Tudor Royal 41 day date is actually a really good pick here to get alternative to Rolex day date. Far cheaper too.
Right.
But yeah, what were your thoughts?
So I was thinking, keeping it in the Tudor lineage, right? But go vintage, go Tudor date day, right? And I
Right.
know those watches are now getting a little bit more pricier, um, but very, very great looking watch. Um, if you get it one in really good condition, more power to you, and the less you pay, awesome. It's still going to be less than a date, right?
Oh yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean that's what I first came to mind. I feel like it's a little bit cheating because we're staying in the Rolex family, but when I
Yeah.
saw the other examples, when I saw the glamour pick, I was like, ugh, there's something about that watch that bothers me too. Not just the size of the logo, but I think it's the hands. It's just there's and the bracelet. There's something that really bothers me about that. But yeah, I mean, and maybe it's because I've been kind of like looking at date days a lot lately
Yeah.
on my own time. That's what the first thing I thought. So I know that's kind of like a weak pick, I feel, but that was the first thing that I thought.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was thinking about that too, because there was a time where I was looking for a date day tutor with a white linen dial. It's so beautiful,
Hmm.
the watches that they put
Yeah.
out in the past,
Yep.
um, and they were going for like 2,000 Canadian. I don't know what they go for now, but man, I should have
Probably a
picked
little
them
bit
up back
more
then.
now. I think they go.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Next up was the Daytona, so Rolex Daytona.
Hmm.
Jenny picked the Tudor Black Bay Chrono, kind of an obvious pick because they're very
Hmm.
similar, and the Zenith Chronomaster Sport, the newer one that came up with a
Hmm.
lot of hullabaloo.
Yeah.
um, I would pick the Hoyer Octavia with the silver dial and the
Solid
black
pick. Yeah.
uh, black subdials. I think that looks unique in its own way, and but at the same time, it's kind of a really cool timepiece. So that I think that was a limited edition for like the 85th anniversary of can't quite remember, but 75-hour power reserve too, column wheel, vertical clutch movement. I was really impressed with that. So
Yeah.
yeah, how about you?
So this is gonna be one that I'm gonna get probably killed for a little bit, and because it's not like it's a bicompax. It's I would say, and because I owned this watch for a hot minute, but if you want to go super super affordable, Laurier Gemini Panda.
Oh, okay.
I like that watch. I know it's spec wise. I mean, it didn't have much, water resistance on that one. But I try to keep most of my decisions right, and you'll see when we get to other pieces, to pieces that I've owned or have some experience with. No, not the Gotham, Justin. No, not the Torno Gotham. Sorry. Uh,
I'm sure
but
they have a chronograph.
yeah, well, no, that's he's tooling on the one that I bought. That was a
Yeah,
chronograph. But I wanted to keep something that's still Panda-like a little bit as a pick. The new Tudor Chrono, I love. That would have been. I don't want to pick something that she picked.
yeah,
And the Zenith, I love that. I'm into that release as well. Um, but uh, but yeah, why not give some love to Laurier, the Gemini?
yeah, for sure. The next one was the date
Oh, this
just.
is I'm sorry,
Oh,
Craig.
yeah, no,
Craig's got a good pick here. The Intermatic Chrono,
yeah, I was actually thinking
twin
about that one
register.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have picked that one if I hadn't seen the Octavia when I was looking around. Next up was the Datejust, Rolex Datejust. Funny thing she did here, she picked a Tissot, but she didn't know the name of the Tissot because it was so boring. She called it the Tissot Powermatic 80,
Yeah.
which is just the name of the movement, but I think it's called the Tissot Gentleman.
You're right.
But she just called it the Powermatic 80, but every Tissot has the Powermatic 80. So it
Yeah.
was it was hilarious.
Yeah.
I laughed at that one,
Yeah.
but she picked the Tissot Powermatic 80 Gentleman. Uh, and the Tudor Royale, less than 38 mil. So just to keep it under that, in that Datejust kind of zone, because it wears a little bigger because of its integrated bracelet. I would pick shocker here, Grand Seiko SBGA 283. So this is a 39 millimeter spring drive three-hander, power reserve indicator, of course. Um, it is probably one of the best values that you can get in Grand Seiko. I've heard that
Hmm.
this might be getting discontinued, so I it probably is not going to be very available going forward. But for now, SBGA 283 285 is a solid pick for a day just like watch. Rob,
Very nice. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, very nice. I'm gonna give you two more. I'm gonna give you two picks.
okay.
One mid tier price range. Um, another, another easy one. I mean, like, another predictable one, but I would say the Aquaterra, Omega Aquaterra. Um, and then for more affordable, sub 1,000, if you can get them. And I own a couple of them, and I wish I never got rid of them. The SARB 033.
Oh yeah,
Um,
that's a great choice.
yeah. So I know I'm cheating a little bit here with some like a vintage watch and a watch that is discontinued. But that watch had a significant impact in my early collecting career, so to speak. And I owned it twice, and I wish I never sold it. And one day maybe bring one back in the collection if I don't want to pay an arm and a leg for it. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah, good choices. And then the next one was the popular one, the Rolex Submariner. She picked Omega Seamaster Professional 300M, which is probably the quintessential alternative for the Submariner, and the Oris Aquis Caliber 400. I was a little surprised at that one.
Hmm.
Um, and then she added the Seiko 5KX. So this would be um, the non-dive watch version of the SKX. So really strange pick. I would have picked instead of that 5KX, I would have picked the SPB 143. I
Yeah.
think that is like a silver dial 62 mass. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar, but
Hmm.
62 mass reissue. I would have picked that for her. So I'm kind of picking two here, but I would have picked that for her instead of 5KX because it's not really a diver.
Yeah.
But my personal pick would be the Breitling Super Ocean 42 millimeter black dial. It's got a solid movement, like 2824, I think, but it's been modified heavily. I've toyed with buying this more than on a few occasions, and that movement does not feel like a 2824 when you wind it. It feels like a 2892 or better. And yeah, wears really well. I think that watch is a hit. It's readily available. It's really affordable for a Breitling. Um, and I would pick that one instead of sub.
Yeah.
How about you, Rob?
Uh, Bingo Joe picked one. So again, I'm cheating with two. Um, I feel like of the two that I'm going to pick, Pelagos being one of them. Extremely tooly looking Tudor. And I picked my Black Bay 58. Like I think
Yeah,
y- you know if I feel like the sub kind of is in the middle of those two watches for me. Yeah, that's what I would go with. I mean, for sure. I mean, Tudor Black Bay, I still have a great watch. It's a dressy diver. Um, probably not as tool feeling or looking as Rolex Submariner, and then I'd pick the Pelagos because, well, that's a tool watch right there. You know what I mean? That's a diver's diver.
yeah,
So yeah, those would be my two picks.
yeah. Matthew on the chat mentioned that he would have picked the CQ, but I wanted to pick the CQ, but it's more expensive than the sub right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
MSRP.
secondary.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I couldn't pick it. I love the CQ, but I couldn't do it.
Yeah,
um, so last up was the GMT Master 2. For that one, Jenny picked the Tudor Black Bay GMT and the Grand Seiko SBGE 255 blue dial, blue 40 millimeter GMT, and the Timex Q. So super affordable there as well. I wanted to go a little wilder here because I couldn't find anything with a two bezel colorway. except for a couple here and there. One was the Seamaster Planet Ocean with the Oreo bezel, so
Hmm.
black and white.
Hmm.
But I would actually pick the Big Blue. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. It's so cool. It's a 45 millimeter Planet Ocean,
Yeah, I know it.
um,
Yeah, yeah,
full ceramic,
yeah. Hmm.
beautiful orange and blue colorway, blue case. Oh, it's so nice. The rubber strap is really nice too. I couldn't pull it off, but for something outside the box, I would go with that one, the Big Blue Planet Ocean GMT.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with the travel watch. Let's say I'm gonna call it that um, I'm a prophet for, right? I mean, like I forget the word. I'm trying to use a word here, and I proselytize. I think is a word. It doesn't have the dual color bezel, but for me, it's the perfect travel watch, and that is the Zin 856. Um, Slim profile for the watch, very subdued. Nobody's going to be looking at it, while you're traveling. Nobody's going to want to steal it. It's got the inner UTC dial, great legibility, great tech as all the Zins have. It has the tegmented technology, the anti-magnification magnetism technology, the AR coating on either side. It's just a great watch. I've owned it a couple times, and
Yeah,
another watch that I regret letting go. But for me, hands down, that is the best travel watch and the best alternative to the Seiko. I mean, to the Rolex GMT.
yeah,
That's for me.
that was it.
Um,
Those were the watches.
yep, those were it. And Nilo saying the Zin 105 UTC. He just picked up one, so he's honeymooning for sure. Uh, Yoma, yeah, Yoma shop, yeah, Yoma shop. Still on that, guys, huh? Oh man.
Did you go for a morning jog with some orange juice?
Yeah, yogging. Yeah, it's a new thing. Yogging? This is jogging. Soft J. Would absolutely go for Zin and Yema. ID guy says, as you mean proselyte. Right. Can I
Prostate.
speak, man? It's almost 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. Craig G, Mido Ocean Star GMT, Batman colorway with a true GMT move. Nice pick. Very
Hmm.
nice pick. Very nice pick.
Kevin
Um,
mentioned the sharp edge GMTs. I don't know why I didn't think of that, but
oh yeah, yeah.
really high value GMT watch.
Wilson, how do you pronounce Gemma? I say Gemma. I say Gemma. That's Gemma to me. Oh man. Okay. Well, in fairness, I'll go with the LF Traveler as my GMT Master 2 alternative.
Like LF as in Laurent Ferrier.
Yeah, I mean, if that's Laurent Ferrier, that's way more. It's not, I'm sure he's talking about something else that we're just not picking up on.
Well, he's doing
Uh,
a winky face, so
oh, yes. Okay. So yes, he does. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so let's move on to the next topic. And it is Watch Gringa. She came out with a video, the best of the chronographs, Omega Speedmaster versus Rolex Daytona. And so she got an opportunity, or I think it was her husband who got the call for Rolex call, but she kind of like hijacked that call or something like that. She wanted a Daytona. Her husband is more of a Speedmaster guy. She's more into the Daytona. She feels like the Daytona was is a more iconic piece. We can discuss that in a minute. But she did make up some good points why she preferred the Daytona over the Speedmaster, and it had to do with the way it fits on a wrist. And I think your typical Speedmaster is 42 millimeter case. I know they make smaller versions, but it's a little bit bigger for a woman's wrist. And I think she said she had a 5 1/4, 5.5 inch wrist. The
yeah,
dimensions of the Speedmaster really work very well for her because it is 40 millimeters diameter, but it has a shorter lug to lug space, and it's a thin a thinner watch, a full millimeter and a half, I think, actually thinner than the Speedmaster, because the Speedmaster has that, the box domed crystal on the one that she was comparing them to each other. And then there was some back and forth with her, I guess her husband, about which one is the better pick. I feel, when you're talking about icons, because she brought it up, right? Um, I feel like the Speedmaster has the edge on that, um, because of all the astronaut related, the NASA relationship, the racing relationships that it has. And not to say that Daytona, the Rolex Daytona, is not of iconic stature. Of course it is. But if you're talking about more iconic, it's of my opinion, of my humble opinion, that the Speedmaster is has more of a iconic footing. But I do like her argument about, for her sizing and why she prefers it. Um, you know, it fits her better. Now, are these the best two chronographs out there? I mean, I don't know. I think there's some other chronographs out there who could, from other brands that can give them a run for their money. But this is the two that she talked about. What did you think about this argument that she was having there, Sanjay?
um, I really enjoyed the argument that her husband, I think that was, posed about the Speedmaster,
Mm-hmm.
because and I don't know if we clarified, but he has the Tokyo 2020 Speedmaster. So
Mm-hmm.
this is a Panda colorway. So it's not the everyday Speedmaster that we see. And one of the things that he did say was the fact that you don't see this everywhere. And at first I was thinking, what are you talking about? The Speedmaster is everywhere. It's way more available than the Daytona. But then he was specifically talking about the Tokyo 2020 Speedmaster. And yeah, I've never seen one of those in person, let alone even online. I've only just barely seen it before this video. Um, so it's a really interesting watch. I, of course, would agree with you. I think the Speedmaster does definitely have, again, in our opinion, the edge over the Daytona. And the whole stuff going on with the Daytona really turns me off. The
Mm-hmm.
Daytona, like, to me, when I hear Daytona, it's almost like a cuss word, because all the baggage that comes with Daytona. And I mean, if you love the Daytona, that's great, and if you have a Daytona, that's even better. I know I'm never getting a Daytona. I don't ever really want a Daytona. I
Mm-hmm.
don't desire Daytona. I'm not talking out of just spite here. If you guys don't know me well, I mean, I really am not. I just don't really like the Daytona, but I really like the Speedmaster, and I own a Speedmaster as well. So, um, but yeah, he was right. It's the Daytona is thinner. It's got that micro adjust on the fly adjustment system that's super cool. Speedmaster doesn't have that, although his variant did have it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I mean, there's not a lot more going on there other
Yeah.
than I really respected what he said about the Speedmaster, especially with the collection he has. If I'm
Yeah.
not mistaken, he has an insane collection, and the fact that he holds the Speedmaster up in such high regard is very interesting to me.
If you got into a car accident, would you buy a Daytona if it was offered to you?
Car accident because of me, like what I do
Yeah,
after car
yeah,
accident.
yeah, yeah. Would you be in the mindset? Because look, joking aside, if I had built a relationship with an AD, and that AD called me and said, "I have a Daytona for you." Now I'm like, it's not on my bucket list to get a Daytona, but it's only because I never thought I would be able to get one. But if I got an AD that called me up and said, "Do you want a Daytona? It's yours," I would make sure I'd find a way to buy that Daytona, as soon as I could that day. Um, Over the same, like, I mean, Speedmasters are more readily available. I'm not going to go out there and buy a Speedmaster. It just doesn't, I it just I respect the Speedmaster. I respect the what it's meant for watch enthusiasts. I expect in history what it's meant. It's just the Speedmaster, especially the Man in the Moon, Speedmasters. They just this really don't do it for me. So they're really available typically, and I'm not going to buy them. But if somebody offered me a Daytona at MSRP, I'd do it. I got to be honest with myself. I'd do it.
Yeah, I I don't know. So hypothetically, this would never happen. Not hypothetically, realistically, this would never happen. I'm never gonna build a relationship with an AD where they're
Hmm.
gonna end up giving me a Daytona or offering me a Daytona. If I did get offered a Daytona, I would have to. I mean, I don't really have that kind of cash, even at MSRP, just laying around to be. I mean, I guess I could, borrow some money from my credit cards or something, and make it happen.
Hmm.
But then I'd have to flip it. I mean, I'd buy it just to flip it, and
Hmm.
I really, honestly, I really don't like the Daytona,
Hmm.
so I wouldn't buy it to wear it. I'd only be buying it to flip it, and I don't know. I feel kind of yucky after doing that.
Yeah.
My conscience wouldn't be clean. Again, not imposing anything on anyone else. If there's no morally objectionable thing that's objectively bad here. If you feel you're okay with flipping, as soon as you get something, that's fine. Uh, but for me, I think my conscience would bug me a bit because there's probably someone out there who really wants a Daytona that can't have it, and I'd be
Yeah.
here, taking advantage of the situation. So, I I after solid deliberation, I would turn down the Daytona in a hypothetical situation where I would be offered one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Mr. LTE, after seeing a Speedy or two this weekend, gotta say they're extraordinary pieces. Yeah, I think they are. They definitely are extraordinary pieces. Um, Bill K saying Miss Gringa appears to be drinking water and possibly even sober in this video, an entirely new persona for her.
I
Maybe. I
really
mean,
enjoyed it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think she should just get drunk and do videos when she's drunk. I don't know. That's just me. That's just me. I don't drink, but I mean, she should drink. Um, Wilson, new channel, so she had to get the Rolex versus Omega out of the way. Rolex killer coming next. Yeah, yeah. But
God
to
knows
her
you
credit, she had the watches with her. You know what I mean? It
she
wasn't
did.
like she was having a Rolex versus Omega and then showing us slides. Which I'm guilty of. I mean, I don't know exactly. I don't think I did a Rolex versus an Omega video, but I've showed slides of videos of watches that I don't have images. I mean, I can't get a hold of it, but I have more respect. And whether she did that, got that through her relationship with her husband, who cares? I mean, she had the watches; she can make a decision.
Mhm.
I respect that. Nefarian, I didn't like the Speedy until I tried on the new one, and it's great. The movement looks really good, but it's no Daytona. Okay. Kevin S. Those Tokyo editions are so cool. Great watch. Crappy Olympics. Hey, Torrens here. How you doing? Um, Forbin Colossus, sorry, but once a watch babe talks about her husband, the illusion of accessibility is shattered. This is marketing after all, sell the fantasy. Uh, Wilson, did Amin just possess Sanjay's brain on the Daytona? LOL. It was
Have
a
you
very Amin-like answer, I gotta be honest with you, Sanjay.
really?
Yeah.
I know I've heard Amin talk about unplugging from the Matrix, but I've never heard him speak about the Daytona. Maybe I missed that episode.
Well, not specifically Daytona, but Rolex in general.
Yeah.
One does not turn down a Daytona. I think you're right. And it helps a little bit if you like it. Like I like it. I mean, I just never put it in my head that it's something I would ever get. So that's why I don't have that connection with it. Uh, if you're offered Daytona, you'll buy the Daytona. I think people are calling you out, Sanjay. I think.
I I
Uh,
I can't. I won't lie. It's like a vow I've made. I never lie. Um, I would turn down the Daytona,
oh yeah.
and I mean that's just my word, right? It doesn't mean much, but
No, I believe I take your word. You're If you say something, I believe you. Snoopy Speedmaster for me, says Chaz. Fiscally responsible choice to pick up
It is.
Daytona, I say. Never say never. Um,
Hey, maybe they'll come up with a Daytona I really like, and then I'll just be sad like everyone else.
I think I dated a marine biologist for a long time and learned my fair share about flipping. Hashtag Daytona. Keithy will definitely buy a Daytona. I don't know. Sorry, I'm the worst. He's all right. And offered me and I quickly sell it. Um, Kevin, I find what is happening with other steel models Rolex way more annoying than the Daytona. The Daytona has always been very difficult or impossible to get.
Yeah, I am really annoyed about the OP situation. I mean,
Hmm.
I always toyed with buying an OP. Now I can't do it.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I can eventually, but I just don't want to play the games.
yeah, and you don't want, and you're not willing to go MSRP.
Over MSRP, I might.
Okay.
Not double or
No, right. Yeah,
yeah,
that's insane. That's insane.
yeah,
Make an offer. If you're offered a Daytona, you take it without doubt. Now we are talking about dolphins on the show. Flippers. Flippers. Daytona wears great. Kevin S says one of the best wearing Rolex watches. I've heard that too, man. I've heard
yeah.
it. Um, there you go. Matt's with you. IWC Pilot Chronos, very good looking, very awesome. Zenith El Primero has the history as well, and we know that the original, or there was a while where Daytonas had El Primero movements in them, for sure. Wilson saying the Daytona will change your mind if you see it in person, especially the white dial. Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah.
Sam will say he would take the reverse Panda B01 any day over those two. Interesting.
Ooh,
Hot take by Sam.
Navi timer. That's
Um,
that's a good alternative. Why didn't
it
I think of the
is.
Navi timer?
Yeah. Yeah. Not a fan of the Daytona. Don't like the screw down pushers. The new stainless steel Speedy or SS Speedy for me. Okay, and let me hit up some more here. Chaz, I've seen a Daytona and even try one on. Just too small for me. Beautiful watch, no doubt. I'm with Sanjay on the Daytona. Sanjay is going to start buying toxic watches now. Oh.
I I have. I bought a two-tone quartz Grand Seiko. I don't think it can get more toxic than that.
That's an awesome watch, though, man.
It is.
I mean,
I
I hope
agree.
that one stays. I mean,
Oh,
it may have to stay, right?
yeah. I'm not losing my shirt on that.
Can we agree that these modern Daytonas are toxic? How do you mean, ID, Mr. Guy? How do you mean? What do you mean by that? Please let us know. Um, James Duffy, I was offered the Daytona. I would pretend if I was offered the Daytona, I would pretend like it to like it and buy it, then flip it for a Speedmaster and 1,000 Casios. Uh, Wilson shows a lot of respect and love. Uh, Up the ante. What if the Speedy is an Ed White 321? Man, I still think I'd go Daytona. In a
Yeah.
world where I can get a Daytona at MSRP, I still think I'd go Daytona.
Hmm.
Mm, yeah.
But that 321 is handmade, man.
I
That's
know,
so
man.
cool.
I know, man. Torrent saying OP prices are crazy. Some of the colorways are going for more than what my Explorer is trending at. It's an entry level Rolex, people. I've never been really too crazy about these new OP colors. I mean, I know that the Tiffany dial's okay. I mean, well, the whatever they call that. I think they can't use the word Tiffany, but the turquoise or whatever.
Yeah.
Um, Black is black. That's always going to be a choice. Um, the green, I don't know, man. I don't know.
I love that green. That
You love
the
the green? Yeah,
dark forest green. That's the one I want.
yeah.
Yeah.
Daytona does wear small, not for me, but wife would enjoy. Sorry, RC. Um, I mean, I didn't realize it was clickbait. I didn't mean it. Nah, seriously. I mean, I didn't know. Okay, here comes ID guy. Talks to when you think how Gaga everyone goes with them and after them, selling them, as Sanjay says, yucky feeling. Okay, I hear you. Megan, 4 a.m. nearly time for my coffee and run. All right, that's an early run for you.
Wow.
Um, well, it's 10 o'clock, Sanjay. We're yeah, it's getting late. And
Yeah.
hey, is this a long weekend for you or no?
It is. Yes.
Awesome,
I
awesome.
get to stay home tomorrow.
That's great, man. That's great, man. So, what do you got? What do you got going on this week? What do we have to look forward to on your channel?
Well, I definitely have to edit the review of a really cool watch called the Omega Seamaster Necton edition. Yeah, I had a, I had some hands on with that watch about a month and a half. It was really really nice. um, but yeah, I should have that review up this week. Um, Other than that, Saturday night next week, 9 p.m. prime time.
Yeah,
I
nice.
think 9 p.m. works for everyone, so it
Yeah,
seems
it
to
felt
be a
good.
good spot. Yeah,
It felt good. You know, I can't. I'm looking forward to watching this week.
yeah.
Um, did you do an unboxing for the Planet Ocean? Did you film
No,
one? No. Okay.
no, I didn't even. I did an unboxing for the Necton, but I never posted it because it feels like I'm doing the same thing over again because the boxes are the same.
Yeah,
So I kind of just not unbox the Omegas.
I tell you what. You should reconsider. I mean, like now it might be too late for the Planet Ocean, but um, people really enjoy unboxings.
Yeah.
And you know, I think that you know, when I do them, it's like, oh, it's another unboxing video. Like, you know, people must get sick of it. Nope,
Hmm.
they don't. If they get sick of it, they just don't watch. But they
Yeah.
when they watch, they really like to see the unboxing. They like to see the watch raw, you know, not in a review setting, and they love our reaction, you know,
Yeah.
because you can relate, you know, there's relatability there, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so do it if you haven't done it for
Yeah.
the but we'd like to see I'd like to see that,
Yeah.
you know.
Thanks for the
The
advice. I did
the
it with
P
the Seiko, so
I
you
know,
can
I
kind of hear
know.
my excitement on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, skipping dinner time with your kids almost,
Yeah.
you know, for a watch. I've been there, man. I've been there.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, I
anyway,
could hear, like, the world ending in the background.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
"Oh, I
yeah. And
gotta
the
get this,
wife
gotta
getting
get
mad.
it." Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, guys from the chat, thank you for coming tonight and seeing our show. Really, really appreciate it. Sanjay, my friend, always fun. And look forward to another week of videos for our next episode of Soup, which will be next Sunday at 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Don't forget to catch Sanjay at his channel, The Engineer Wannabe, and his Instagram at engineer underscore wannabe. And I'm Bobby Legs, and have a good night, guys.
See
Take
you guys.
care.
Bye.